There we go. Hello. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Third Action. I am your lovely host, as always, whoever I am, Jason. Ha, that's it. And these are the same three mangled corpses that were here with me last week. In the bottom left, we have Charlotte playing Asher Ford, Human Ranger.
Hello. Jason can remember my name, but not his own name.
No.
Well, he remembers the important names.
Yeah.
Ah, thank you.
I'm merely a ghost, a spooky ghost. And to the south, we have Will playing Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid. I'm just going to ignore that.
I've not been able to see for 35 minutes because I didn't want to show you that.
I didn't realize they had the second pair of sunglasses on. Okay. Well, in the bottom right, we've got Gunn Shough, human champion of Rastal, played by Adam.
Hey. That's all I got.
No worries.
All right, so in any event, last time on Third Action, ooh, whoa, that's battle theme. That's not what I want. Let's try explain.
Oh, we're getting started already?
Last time on Third Action, our heroes had returned to Sandpoint after a thrilling adventure, stopping the nefarious Nualia. You had a chance to, I guess that's a little bit too dark. You had a chance to kind of settle back into daily life at Sandpoint. Did a lot of not crafting, did a bit of earning money, selling stuff, buying new equipment. Some of you did some retraining with Shough, and that was basically it for about 17 days worth of stuff. You had time to sort of collect yourselves and train yourselves for whatever next might be in store. On the 17th day, which I believe is Wheel Day, the 16th of Lamachan, you found yourselves asked to meet the Sheriff Hemlock, at the barracks, who had grave, dire news for you. Wanted your help with a investigation of sorts. It turns out there have been a couple of murders recently. One a few days ago just outside of town, or a few hours down the road outside of town in a abandoned farmhouse. There were 3 dead bodies found, along with a crazed man who was their bodyguard. The bodies were all carved up and marked with the Sahedron rune, a rune that you are all too familiar with by this point. And their jaws were all missing, torn from their faces. You also were informed of a murder that happened last night here in Sandpoint at the local sawmill. The only witness was a very distressed and kind of distraught worker at the sawmill by the name of Ibor Thorn, IBOR, whatever, who is currently being held downstairs in one of the sort of holding cells in the barracks. Also under custody is the local shopkeeper of the general store, Ven Vinder, whose daughter it was that died in the sawmill murders last night. So 2 people were murdered in the sawmill. This was, I believe, did I give you both of their names? I don't recall. Yes, no?
Harker and the one who's not Watermelons.
Right. The other vendor sister.
Right. I think you did. I don't have it noted here.
I'll give it to you again once I get back to my spot in the book. What is her name?
We definitely got her name.
Katrin. Yes.
Katrin.
we-
That's right.
Interrogated both of those prisoners.
Correct. I guess I'll leave you guys to explain what you think you found out as a result of those two interrogations. But we find you now, I guess, on your way to the sawmill to investigate what happened there. The guards are currently blocking the place off for you to hopefully come and investigate. And the mayor has given you, or not the mayor, the sheriff has given you a sort of letter of like deputization to authorize you to investigate these murders. But he's also informed all the guards in town, so they should already be aware of your involvement. So I guess we'll start with you guys on your way over. And I'll go ahead and move you into the Sandpoint map. Cool.
What did we think we found?
Yeah,
I
what
think we
was the
found-
result of your investigations so far?
I think we found that neither of these two guys knows much of anything, and if they did it, they were possessed and are no longer possessed.
We found out about the secret family. When the guy cooking the books or whatever.
That's true. We found out that
The Scarnancies.
two victims were a couple, also off the
Mhm.
books.
We found out that Ebor does not like dogs. He's probably a terrible person.
That's one spin.
Just
One way
saying.
to spin that.
How can you not like Phelan? What's he ever done?
Well, I guess when you're being interrogated by a terrifying dog, it's probably not.
He wasn't. He
He
was
was
just sitting there.
trying to be nice in that
He's
scenario.
wearing
Just happened to
armor.
be terrifying, Jason.
He may be wearing a little bit of armor, and he's
He went over
pretty
to
sizable.
snuggle and looked scary.
That's fair. People are just biased against black dogs.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. From that stuff, you know that Harker was the man who was murdered. You were informed by Ebor Thorne after a bit of convincing that seems like Harker had been skimming money off the top of the business, and the business was supposed to pay money to the Scarnetti family. So if word got out that he was doing this, then bad things could have happened to him. They could have hired a hitman or something like that. You also found out that Harker and Katrin were having a bit of an affair of sorts, unbeknownst to Van Vinder, it seems. And yeah, I think that's the gist of it. So,
Did we determine if Katrin started this affair before or after she did the wheelbarrow with Gunn?
those are different people.
No, I thought it was Katrin who helped, because it was Watermelons who wasn't there when
No,
he
it
went to
was the
pick up.
older lady.
Oh, was it?
oh.
Was it Fim?
When
we were-
some weeks ago,
was-
yes, it was.
Yeah, it was during the
Katrin.
Harvest Festival.
That was Katrin that I talked to.
It was Katrin.
Not during the
okay.
Harvest Festival. No, just a few days ago.
No, it was the Harvest Festival. We were picking out more, or not the Harvest Festival. Sorry, it was the Thanksgiving one.
It was during the
Yeah,
downtime.
sorry. Yes.
Yes,
During the feast. Yes.
we went to pick up some supplies and Adam,
Sorry, I meant you.
or
I
Gunn-
thought you meant the the Swallowtail Festival at the beginning. That was.
No, there was a different
that was my
harvest
sister.
thing as well, but no, this was
Anyways.
yeah, Gunn went and got some different sorts of vegetables from her. Did some wheelbarrowing or something.
But yeah, if you talked amongst each other, you'd probably figure out that yes, the one that Gunn saw last week seems to be the one who is missing / dead. And the other sister, the redheaded Shayless Vendor, is the one who's still alive.
Shameless vendor. As see, I thought it was the mom. I thought it was a little older lady
No.
that I met at the shop the second time. That's what I heard. Oh, well, then I'm going to be a little bit sad when we get there.
Aye.
Yes.
Cool.
I think we're just
All right.
gonna head right over.
So are you guys gonna
correct?
just head straight on over?
I'm
Let's
curious
do it.
about this curious goblin though.
I forget
Just
what kind
the
of
name.
store it is. Okay, so you guys make
Curious.
your way over to the lumber mill straight away.
I
Yeah.
will.
Yes, indeed.
So outside the lumber mill, there is already a crowd of people kind of gathered, curious as to what's going on. The lumber mill itself is silent. There is a large water mill that would normally be running at this time of day, but it's currently not doing so. There are a handful of guards sort of keeping the crowd at bay. And one of them sees the group of you and kind of waves you over.
Suppose we'll head over there.
I
Ah,
got two things to do
yeah.
at the start. The
Mhm.
first is, can I scan the crowd and see if anybody looks like they're watching the guards rather than watching the scene? If that makes any sense?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Like,
Mhm.
a lot of times criminals will come back and watch the investigation. So,
Those were some dumb criminals, but then again,
Come
I never
with
murdered nobody.
All right, CSI has begun.
Uh
Oh no!
oh.
net one.
Bum 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 bum.
I stand up and shout, who's looking at...
It's not here for good reasons.
No, you're just you're looking. You're trying to glance through the crowd, but everybody. It's so much commotion, and the guard waving is kind of distracting you. You don't really get a good chance to see anybody's faces or.
Okay. Well, damn.
Yeah, it looks to you like it's mostly just local villagers.
Okay.
Greshy will push through the crowd then and head towards this guard that was waving toward him.
Does Gunn follow?
The sec-
or...
Yes, the second thing
Oh,
we'll wait until after we talk with the guards.
Okay.
But I wanted to
so-
try and help disperse the crowd with a speechify or something.
Ah, sure.
So once you get up to the front, the guard salutes you all. Captain Gunn, sir. We've tried to keep the crime scene safe, sir.
The captain now?
The captain now.
Got promoted. Didn't tell me about this.
Gunn.
I'll say thank you. Looks like it's going well. Let's see if we can get this crowd to back off a little bit.
We've been
I
trying
will.
all morning, but they just they don't know when to leave.
I will turn around and say in a loud voice to the front of the group something like this. Everyone, I know you're curious about what's happening here. I just want to let you know that we've got it under control. Please be respectful to the privacy of the families and take your leave.
I just want to know what happened, says one person in the back. Yeah, me too.
We will let you know what we find out. We'll make it public.
We'll
Okay,
make it
you go ahead and
public.
roll a diplomacy check. As the crowd
Get a
tries to
blog.
kind of heckle you
Right.
back a little bit.
One second, let me check. I feel like I grabbed.
Oh yeah, if you've
No,
got
I guess
a,
I. No, I have intimidating glare. I thought I had the one that lets you do crowds. But
I think it only lets you do it first, too.
a natural one.
Oh my goodness!
So you're there for about natural one for a 12. So you're there for about like 10 minutes trying to get the crowd to back off, disperse, go away, but they're seeing you do this. They're now like more persistent, and more people are starting to crowd around at the commotion that's like being caused.
I think
welcome,
Phelan
guys.
would start to get very upset about this and start barking at them. Can I have him try and intimidate them away?
Sure. Intimidation.
It's an 18.
A few people kind of back up a bit. This is, you're doing this like while Gunn is trying to calm people down and get them to go away. It's
mostly just to give us a little bit of breathing room because they're getting a little too close.
You get people to kind of back off a bit, but they're still keeping a perimeter. So the guards are able to kind of push the perimeter back a bit.
Okay.
So everybody is well like outside of like maybe 20 feet of the doorway into the mill.
Greshy has no charisma, but turns out failing to just does it fine. So
I'm
it works.
imagining what I could have said that would make them super interested in the like. Everyone, these grisly murders are almost certainly not the work
of the chopper. He's not returned. We promise you this. These horrible,
that's basically what
terrible
happens.
Murders.
Right, despite the mayor telling you not to mention murders. Okay, so what do you guys want to do?
I say we just go into the lumber mill.
It looks like this crowd's not going to go away. Yeah, the guards are still out here. They're still holding the perimeter just fine.
If anyone comes in, we'll knock them out.
Okay, so you guys head on into the lumber mill.
I feel like I should have disagreed with that, but at the same time, I just don't want to.
Knocking them out?
We can knock
we can
them
have
out.
Gunn do it.
Oh, damn! I can't.
Just with the shield.
Well, this is quite the scene, ain't it?
I'm gonna move you guys a little bit closer in because I can't see.
There's
you
so
on
much
the
tomato
screen.
juice on the floor.
Okay, so you enter the lumber mill.
Spilled a V8.
And
all over the
there
place.
is quite a lot of blood all around. There is a large pile of wood, sawed through wood, in a massive holding like bucket, and you can look up at the ceiling and see blood. It's mostly dried now, but blood is dripping from like a hole in the ceiling. Where the lumber is supposed to, the cut lumber is supposed to fall through to the bottom. And at the far side of the room, you can see the big double doorway that leads out to the dock. On the north side of the room, there's also a ladder that leads upstairs, and there's a line of blood smeared up against it. Like kind of, it's more like splotches of blood along the ladder's rungs.
So
Someone was
E019 was
climbing?
down here chopping wood, and then blood started to come down and got all over him, and then he climbed up the ladder to see what was going on. That's what he said.
Yes, that is what he said.
Like that is.
And you can see a corpse of a, you guess it's a woman. It's in pieces. Some of them are all over the floor. But the largest chunks are in the pile of wood.
Well, ain't this a sight?
Go look at the chunks. That is all right.
Sure.
Someone ought to go get a wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the experience with it, but at the same time, I feel like this is not the time nor place to be making jokes about the poor lady.
Okay. You approach Asher, the dead body heaped on top of this pile of lumber. What would you like to do?
I want to examine the chunks. There's no real body, right? Or is there like just a torso?
Yeah, there's kind of bits of torso. The head is kind of mostly intact. It's definitely been carved through. Most of the jaw is kind of broken off. It's pretty badly mangled. You can see kind of part of her face, and you can tell it was a woman. But it's really hard to make out the features.
Is there any the star? Is the star carved anywhere, or does it just look like she was cut through with a machine?
Give me a no, it's pretty apparent to you. there's not enough like solid pieces of body to really tell if this star is carved anywhere. You don't see it though.
Yeah.
On any of the big chunks of flesh that are visible.
You said the jaw was partly torn off. Does it look like the other ones where it was straight up missing? Like it started
no, it's not straight up missing. It's just partially, like.
Does it look like someone tried to intentionally remove it, or it's just broke when then?
It's just broken probably from the saw blade or saw blades.
Were the last jaws just entirely like taken, like someone was collecting jaws and didn't give them back?
Correct.
Okay.
The
So
jaws of all the
still
other
here.
corpses that you saw have had the jaw, like it looks like the jaw specifically was removed. Here it just
Okay.
looks like the jaw has been mangled pretty badly.
Dislocated and-
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the same person, quote unquote.
When you say mangled pretty badly, like, does it appear to be attached still, or just like barely hanging on, or?
It's barely hanging on.
Okay, so basically would not be usable again were she to be revived, unless it was also healed when she's revived. Not that-
In like pieces.
There's a lot of pieces. I don't think it'd probably work unless it was a very strong spell.
Yeah, you've heard of revival magic that could bring the full body back as it was, probably, but it's pretty high level.
Wasn't there another body? Is it not here in this area?
You look
I
around, you don't see another body here, downstairs.
Greshy's gonna climb the ladder to see. Let's find out.
Yeah, but does it look like there may have been a body here that was moved?
Hold
or is
on,
it just
Greshy,
like
let's all
this
go
is
up
the only
together.
one?
Oh,
Give me a
alright.
perception check, Asher, just to look around to see if you spot a body.
23.
Nice.
3. Looking around inside this room, you don't see any signs of another body or more blood splatters. No.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
I have
the- Oops, sorry.
I have a question too. This looks like a lot of blood. In my best guess, is this more than one person's worth of blood? Kind of looks like it. But then again, there's a lot in a person.
Human body has a lot of blood. Medicine check. It's a pretty
Perhaps
hard
I'll
one.
ask Greshy that question.
Oh, I could try and determine whether this is one person or two's worth of blood.
Or more.
Ooh,
Well, that's a natural 20 for a total of 32.
Okay. I guess you'll come over and take a look at the pooling blood
Aye.
there.
So I was told not to
While
put
it
the
is a
ladder
lot of
alone.
blood, you're pretty sure that this is probably just one person's blood.
At least a human-sized person.
Yeah.
Be a lot more if they were smaller, but
Given the rather
Or per-
dramatic way that this body died, the
So it's like-
spreading of blood is pretty. Yeah, it seems
quite
seems about normal.
exsanguinated.
Makes sense. Okay. Just making sure.
It's fair check. Seems to all be from the same person.
Does anyone remember from, because I don't even out of character remember this, if the guy who worked here said he saw both bodies at the same time or just one body?
Thinking he went upstairs and saw the other one was how I remember the story.
Okay. I just couldn't remember.
That sounds correct to me.
Yeah. Cool.
Shall we go see what is upstairs?
I think we should.
Aye. Before we go, since it's on the way, these footprints, I shouldn't say footprints, unless they are footprints.
You take a look at them. They look like just splatters of blood.
Okay,
like
so-
something was dripping.
Something was dripping, but does it look to be a trail, as though something were carried or dragged in a given direction?
Perception.
Yes. Sure, that will go swimmingly since that nat 20. That's a 13 total.
Okay. No, it just looks like something was dripping. Doesn't look like anything was dragged through these splotches of blood.
Okay.
My assumption is that if it came from above, and we'll see when we get up there, I guess, is that there was like a motorized log carrier that kind of was going across, maybe, and it was
That's fair.
dripping. But we'll see.
Aye. Want me to go up first, or would you like to lead? Go on. Or Asher.
I mean, I'll always go first.
I know you will.
I'm ready.
Sometimes I do like to see if Gunn would like to be in charge, or...
But if he would like to go, he's more than welcome.
Go ahead.
All right.
I'm rolling ones today.
Well, it's my turn to roll some ones.
There we go. We'll split it. And
Right.
I'll have Phelan guard the door, since I don't think he's going to make it up the ladder without a bit of effort. I can't quite carry him anymore. He's a bit too big.
All right, so Asher, you make your way to the top of the ladder, and there's an open hatch at the top that you climb through.
Oh.
And you
Oh
find
my
yourself
goodness.
on the upper floor.
Okay.
Just
And I
vanish.
presume all of you kind of make your way up here.
I will follow. Oh my good golly gosh.
It's quite a scene. There is the log splitter straight to the south before you, leading to a big opening in the floor. There is blood splattered all over the place. There's an open window to the east that looks out over the water. And if you come around the corner, because I didn't actually... Oh, here, I'll move the body. Oh, no, I won't. On screen, you can't quite see it. I'll move the body slightly. Here. Body is visible now to the stream. In a bedroom-looking room around the corner, you can see the body of Harker strewn out on the floor, bleeding quite... Or, he's already bled out, but...
We can save him. Is
just
he,
like the other
super-
corpses,
Yeah.
he is missing a jaw, and his chest is bare, and on it is carved the same sigil of the seven-pointed star.
But her jaw was still there. That's interesting.
So she's not a target.
No, she wouldn't have been.
She's just incidental.
So of the pieces we saw, I assume there was no sign of the star, correct?
Correct. Or at least that's what Asher, when Asher was looking at the other body, did not see any sign of the star.
So I have
Seems-
a question.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
blood on the ground. Since I can't really tell from the pictures. Are there footprints in the blood coming from the bedroom?
Give me a survival check to check out these footprints. There are footprints in the blood all over the place.
17.
17. It's a bit of a mess to say exactly where the footprints are coming and going from. It does look like some bloody footprints are leading away from the bedroom.
I'm gonna duck back down real quick and ask the captain if any of his men went upstairs and walked around.
Aye, sir. We tried not to step in anything, but it's a little hard given all the... You know what? He's trying to keep his voice quiet in front of the crowd of people who are still
Given all the
eagerly
blood.
looking for
All the
anything
blood?
interesting.
From the murdered bodies.
That answers your
Finding
question.
secretive.
How many men were up there, all told?
Just two of us, sir. Myself and Sheriff Hemlock. We were the first ones on the scene this morning.
Let's see his boots if he's been here the whole time. Does he have any blood stains, any blood on his boots? Has he been walking through them?
Yeah, sure. He'll very willingly show you his boots. There's a tiny bit of dried blood on one of the boots, but not the other.
Okay. All right. That's enough for me. Thanks.
Aye. And you return to the group.
Looks like these footprints do not. I mean, I'm assuming that Sheriff Hemlock himself knew not to step in the blood, but the only other person up here was the captain, and he seems to have done a pretty good job at avoiding it as well. So these footprints are from the killing time.
Do I notice any kind of variety in the footprints? As in, if there's one that's significantly smaller than the other, like a women's shoe versus an adult male shoe?
Sure, you're trying to look around at the different footprints. Give me... actually, with your survival check is enough, I think. Yeah. You're able to pick out a few different footprints, one of which seems to be like a lady's shoe print, simple leather shoe type footprints. Another set of prints that you can see underneath the blood are this kind of like dirty, muddy tracks of what look like human feet, but with elongated toes, and they're barefoot.
Oh. Well, that's creepy. There's someone's walking around here with creepy feet. I'm gonna point out the creepy footprints to...
Barefoot?
Yeah, with really long toes. Long little tootsie fingers.
Those two? Just those two sets?
Oh.
Yeah, those are the sort of two distinct sets that you're able to make out. There seems to be a third set of prints in here, and maybe a fourth, but you're not sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a woman's shoe and these creepy long toes.
Okay.
Who would make sense for Catherine.
So
there's also this kind of just lingering stench of decay that's just kind of filling the room. That wasn't present downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Any place where it's stronger, like near the corpse?
Give me a survival check to sort of sniff around for places where it's closer.
Ooh, a natural 20 for 27.
Okay, you're like heads up, kind of sniffing around at the air. You check in the room around the corpse. You do smell it in here. You sniff around close to the body. In some spots you can smell it. You step back out of the room and sniff at some of the prints on the floor. The muddy prints seem to be giving it off more strongly than others. But it certainly just kind of lingers around the room. And you actually notice that the muddy prints lead to and from this window.
Ooh.
At the far side of the room that overlooks the water.
Creeping, rotting foot, long toes came in through this window and
any
left.
Creatures in your book have long toes and smell of decay?
I'm not sure. Do any creatures in my occult book or my knowledge?
You can roll occultism, sure.
Alright, let's try our best. Uh-oh, a 12.
A 12?
Dubious knowledge apply?
Yeah, dubious
If I
knowledge
fail,
would
yes.
apply.
Thank you.
Is
for
it
the
on
reminder.
failure or
It's
critical
on,
failure?
It's on failures,
Just a
but not
failure.
critical failures.
Yeah.
So in this case, no. You can't think of anything that any demons or strange things like that might have caused this.
Can't think of anything.
Let me real quick check downstairs again if there's any of Catherine's feet around, if her feet match the women's shoe prints.
Okay.
There's something very unsettling about what you're asking to do, but fair enough.
I'm all for it.
But
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it's a little unsettling.
So you head downstairs to...
it would actually indicate that she was the second to die.
Oh, I mean, that's fair.
Give me a survival check to kind of search for... You're just searching for prints that match
I'm looking for her feet.
Okay.
Her
Oh, her
seven
actual
foot.
feet.
Her
Yeah.
actual
Her
feet.
literal feet.
Oh, her actual.
See if
Okay.
they were chopped into enough pieces to move.
Okay. Sure. So that wouldn't be survival. That would actually be perception.
All right. Well, that's the same.
Same amount. So 16.
I think. Yeah. Same plus 7.
You look around at the corpse that's over here on the lower floor, and you don't even really see much of her legs. There were some body parts upstairs as well. It did kind of spread everywhere.
Okay.
Maybe her feet are up here.
We'll have to check upstairs too then.
Okay, you head back upstairs. And you go checking around up here. Give me a perception check again. If you wear a monk's feet, does your speed increase? No.
A 13 this time.
A 13. You're looking around trying to find her feet. You can't find them amidst all the bits of blood and gore, but you do find right there beside you is a hatchet. It's covered in blood, but it's embedded into the wood planking there, and it was covered up by a piece of flesh. And you like remove the flesh and see this hatchet.
This is disturbing. Okay. Hatchet.
It's pretty close to the saw blades.
Does it, if I get a good look at the blade, does it look like it's been used to chop, or is it just incidental and got blood all over it because there's blood all over everything?
You look at it, and yeah, there is kind of a distinct like chipping on the blade of the hatchet itself, and even the part that's dug into the floor, even that part's bloody.
So one
So it looks like it was
possibility
bloody
is,
before it was placed in the
okay.
floor there.
So one possible way this went down, whatever it was, did not expect Katrin to be here. Killed the man. Killed Harker. She grabs the hatchet, tries to defend herself, gets thrown into the machine, and then Long Toes escapes out the window.
Possible option is that whatever creature came in here, long toes, as it were, used the axe initially to attack Harker and kill Harker. Actually, can I take a look to confirm Gunn's theory? Does Harker appear to have been killed with an axe of some sort?
Okay, you can go over and approach his body. Let's see. Give me a medicine check if you're gonna try and identify the wounds.
Sure, that's a 27 total.
Okay. Yeah, 27 is enough. You can see that there, whatever carved the Sahedron rune into his flesh was definitely some kind of blade. Something more meticulous than a hatchet, probably. Unless you're really, really skilled with your hands, I guess. But you also see what appear to be various claw marks on the body, very similar to the claw marks I think you found on one of the other 3 bodies.
Mm-hmm. And they smell of the Undeath as well.
You sniff at them.
They smell
it's definitely this very strong undeath smell,
rotted
yeah,
sort of
rotting
thing.
flesh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, but it doesn't appear that he was killed with any sort of like sharp hatchet type of thing.
Not that you can see now. You flip the body
Right.
over on its back, and no injuries on the back, just on the front.
I do like the idea that Greshy's just manhandling the corpse, just going, nope. Well, that theory's out. All right.
Flip him over.
Yeah, just kind of. It takes a bit of effort because Greshy's not that strong. All right. Yeah, well, so she might have used that to protect herself. That would mean that whatever we were after might have been wounded, if that had blood on it, you said?
I think he's
The
talking to you,
hatchet.
Gunn.
Hey,
That would be good news. We could probably follow that trail, especially if we've got Valen or Asher.
or Asher, since apparently Asher can just smell things, which is pretty impressive, I should say. So in that case, I see some blood trails over this direction. Do they look like they're spray from a person being, this sounds grisly to say, being sawn in half or into pieces? Or is it more of a trail of something bleeding on the way out?
Good question. Survival
Survival.
or perception?
I think it's the same
Okay,
either way.
Okay. 19?
Yeah, 19. Oh,
most
perception
of it-
would have been better, but it's fine.
Most of it looks like blood splatter. It's possible that some of these splotches are more drips, but it's really hard to tell.
Sure. Okay.
Sorry, I was spacing trying to think of the relationship between the lumber mill and the note that we got earlier in the criminal enterprise that was going on.
So I have a mini theory. It's not even really a theory, but a mini comment, I guess, of all the deaths so far where their jaws have been taken and they've been carved have all been men. I don't know if that's
3 for
something to
3. It's
consider.
a small-ish sample size, but
But the
Or is
one
it-
woman that's
It was
here
4 for
seemed
4
to just
actually,
have
4
wasn't
for
it?
4. Yeah, that's true.
Maybe that's something to find out later.
It's a thought. I have a thought about the jaws, but we need to talk to a priest about it.
Maybe he
I'm a
has a
priest.
jaw jar.
Suppose you are.
You can ask if you would know something.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
That was an invitation to tell me theory.
Sorry, I was trying to think of how to phrase it. Would I know about Speak with Dead? Or would I
Give
know
me-
enough?
Give me a religion check.
It's 24 total.
Yeah, now that you're thinking about it, yeah, you do know about Speak with Dead. You've heard of people using it before. I don't think it's a
think
spell
that's
that's on
higher
your
than-
list, but
It's
you-
not. That's
you
why I
are
wasn't
aware of it.
sure.
Yeah.
I think that's higher than any religion check I've ever made.
Well, I guess then the question would be, would Gunn know about Speak with Dead as well?
Yes. Oh, sorry, Gunn.
Aye.
Gunn would need to do a religion check as well if you mentioned Speak with Dead.
Aye, and that would be it, is that I think there's a spell
I-
that some get from their gods or whatever.
It uses, what, teeth or jaws? I got a 19 on my religion check.
What spell level is Speak with Dead?
Good question. It's on the divine list, I'm pretty sure.
Let's see. Speak. I don't know. Maybe it's not in the core rulebook anymore.
Oh, did they remove it?
Possibly. Yeah, it's not showing up
So
when I search.
I don't
for it.
think
But
this is-
yes, you 19. Yeah, you are also aware of Speak with Dead, the spell.
I don't think this is gender motivated because the note we got on the first 3 names them all by name. Messrs. Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe, and offers them a business deal. I'm thinking that perhaps they could have, I mean, we've got business deals, we've got Scarnetti family owed money, shady dealings on both sides. We should maybe find out if there's any connection between Scarnetti and those 3 thugs. As to Speak with Dead, what do I
Yes,
think
you
is the
are
likelihood that-
also aware of Speak with Dead.
what's the connection with that and Jawbones?
It's hard to speak if you don't have a mouth to speak with.
Oh, you're saying it prevents us from casting?
I suppose you could cast it on them, but if they can't answer.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that Speak with Dead requires you to have a mouth with which to speak.
Right, so cutting out the tongue,
okay.
cutting out the jaw, cutting out anything that would prevent it from being able to say words would mean that it can't answer any questions. Otherwise, they've got a bone fetish, specifically for jaws.
Jaw jar.
Somebody right up Asher's lane, which explains why maybe they've got that infatuation with
I
Asher.
was definitely thinking of it the other way around, trying to find what use they might have for teeth and jaws, rather than denying us.
I was thinking trophies, but
Investigations.
since they didn't take hers, it's not just because they're killed. I think it was intentional, and it just happened that hers was damaged enough that they didn't think it was worth taking the whole thing.
And we probably can't restore her body to a condition where we could cast Speak with Dead.
I don't know any spells to, well, I have one spell, but it would not work now. It would have worked only if we'd found her right away.
Yeah.
And even then, I don't know if it would have worked with her body in as many paces as it has. So, that said,
We have two avenues ahead of us that I can see. One is to follow the trail, if we can. The other is to ask about the connection to the Scarnettis. The trail is more urgent of the two.
aye. Asher, would you be able to see if there's a trail of blood leading out that window?
Let's take a look out the window.
Let's tell Mr. Captain.
Just as a reminder, you were also told about the guard for the 3 men that were murdered in the farm. He was found alive, but he seemed to be insane, so they sent him to the sanatorium.
Right. Okay, so we have a third lead.
That? Well, if they left him alive, then I'm not sure why they would have taken the jaws of the others then.
He might not know anything.
But how would you know?
Was there to be a bodyguard, whereas the other 3 were.
If all you need,
by
if this was to prevent us from getting information, you'd want to prevent us from getting information, right? So
Yeah,
either he
that's-
has no information and they can guarantee that, or he's, or it doesn't fit in, and the theory's not sound entirely possible.
The trail, I think, is still the most urgent out of
aye.
the 3 investigations. So we should tell the captain that we're following a lead and have them.
Well, we should make sure that Asher or somebody can
away.
follow that lead.
Dang. What's
And-
out this window?
Asher and Phelan on the trail.
So you look out the window, and you're just looking out over, I guess, a small lake part of the river. Down below, you can see the dock where all of the lumber is sort of sent to the mill, I guess, sort of bound up by ropes down below.
It. No blood like going down the building.
No, you don't see any blood going down the building, but you can perception. Yeah, you can perception.
I see that. An 18.
18. Yeah, you think you can make out the mud tracked up the side of the building as you kind of peer down over it.
Ooh. I forgot I was leaving muddy footprints. Stinky muddy footprints. Do those smell?
Yes.
Alright. Well, at least they're really smelly. So I feel like Phelan could follow that if they were super.
We'd have to give him a smell to be able to smell, but yeah,
Here they are.
could have him try. Well, getting him up here is a bit hard.
Oh,
But if there's if there are some downstairs, then perhaps we
well,
can
looks
give
like
those
they
a
go
sniff.
down the wall, right? So we could just kind of go outside and be like, look, Phelan.
Walk down the wall.
I just tumble out the window. How far down is it, actually?
What? It's like 15 feet maybe down into the water.
Ooh. Oh, there's no, like,
I mean, you could try to land on the dock instead.
How far down is the dock?
10 feet. It's a bit of a hard angle to jump, though.
I can
If you're
try
just
and
trying
jump.
to tumble.
Because I have catfall, and I haven't used it yet.
Are you an expert in acrobatics or just trained?
Let's learn. I am trained, but it's a 10. The worst that could happen is I fall in the water and drown and die. How deep is the water?
You're not really sure. There's a bunch of logs as well, so you might hit some logs.
That'll keep you safe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could land on the logs with catfall. You can also take the ladder down. The one that's like 20 feet
It
away.
depends on
while
how,
Asher's-
like...
while
if Gunn
Asher's
is
worried about
we
this-
have to find the trail before it goes cold, I'm gonna jump out the window.
Asher does that. Greshy just goes down on the ladder.
Okay, Greshy makes his way down the ladder downstairs.
Wonder if I'll make it to the dock in time to see if
Is Asher
Asher.
jumping or no?
I'm
Face
gonna do it.
plants.
I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna jump.
Okay.
He thinks about it and then he goes, I'm gonna jump.
Okay. Or he just says it but doesn't do it, or...
No, he does it.
Okay,
In his
give
head,
me an acrobatics
the gears
check.
are turning.
looks like I'm gonna have to jump.
Uh-oh. A 29.
Oh
Okay, are
my
you trying to
God.
jump into the water, onto the logs, or onto the dock?
Onto the dock.
Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
We'll find out.
You jump, do a flip, and land with a thud. Your legs are kind of shaking a bit as you slam to the ground, but you do land on the dock itself. The planks kind of come loose,
Oh, no.
and break a bit under your impact. So maybe you've now created a hazard, but
Uh-oh.
Greshy
That's okay.
applauds. It's not bad.
All
Gunn?
right.
I'll follow Greshy down the ladder.
Responsible people do.
okay, you head on over to the ladder and head downstairs and join the others.
All right. I'll Phelan over and see if we can sniff out the footprints. See if we can get a good scent on them.
What is
Okay.
this, like, noose thing, though?
That's just a rope hanging down from
Okay.
up higher that's used to. I debated even putting it there. I was going to delete it. I'm going to delete it.
It's a
Like, there's
spooky
a
element that
floating
makes it more
noose.
spooky
Yeah,
Oh, there it goes. Never mind. I didn't
for
see
Halloween.
it raises up out of the way.
it. There it goes.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to the dock, and you have Phelan sniffing out for the footprints. Yeah, he does seem to find something, and he is sniffing away, following the trail until he reaches the end of the dock, and it just looks back up and kind of whines.
Oh.
Mm, okay.
So Longtoes is aquatic. He's a merfolk or of some kind.
Or he
Perhaps.
just walked on the bottom of the ocean. Oh, not the ocean.
Well, I mean, maybe the long toes are webbed.
I didn't
Probably would
think
be hard
they
to
were
tell.
webbed.
I mean,
You can see
Would-
duck webs when they.
Yeah, it
walk
didn't.
on
They
them.
didn't seem to be duck webbed. No, they seemed
Okay.
like human feet, just with slightly longer toes.
thumb toes.
Yeah, do they have thumbs?
Mhm.
Thumb feet.
If you look out to the other side, so it's basically just water, and then on the opposite side is a shore.
Opposite side of how
Of this kind of
how wide of a-
lakey thing.
Like,
it's
there's
maybe
only
100
one
feet
other
across.
place. There's only one other place looks suitable to come out.
Not necessarily. So the river kind of goes all around Sandpoint. I can go back to the Sandpoint map.
Yeah, let's check that bigger map.
I see it.
I see.
So there's a little inlet there. Then
Well-
it is more of a lake further around.
Yeah, it's kind of
If he
just like
was-
a. Yeah.
If he was actually aquatic, he would probably have come out anywhere. But if he was just looking for the fastest way out, he probably came up in the closest area. So maybe we should go around and start looking right around, here-ish.
Yeah. Little
Well, if we're
jet.
going around, we can check all the way around. Just follow the coastline and see if we can find them. But I agree that would probably be the fastest route if they're not aquatic.
Okay, so you're gonna go try and investigate the sort of marshy side of the river over there.
Take the bridge by the tannery. Ugh, the tannery is probably gonna interfere with the smell.
It may. Depends on the way the wind blows. And
The water flows.
Okay, yeah, you guys make your way out past the crowd, around the tannery. Oops, I've made Asher.
Ooh,
Oh, no.
I'm so long.
long, Asher's long.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
Asher
over there
approaches the speed of light.
Around
It's stretched out.
to here.
Ooh.
Sorry, I'm just moving
Hey,
you guys. I don't know
guys.
if you guys want to move yourself.
Well, as we come along that path there, we'll see if we can pick up the trail at any point.
Okay. Give me a survival check from those who are trying to do this.
All right.
I will be having Phelan and participate if that's all right.
Phelan would do a perception.
He does have survival trained. But okay.
Okay, sure. Either's fine.
They're the same actually as I look at
Okay.
it. It just seemed like survival would make more sense for him since that's him sniffing it out. But I will also
Okay,
do
you
survival.
guys. So that's an 18, a 16, another 16, and a 19.
16 for Phelan and 19 for myself. For Greshy. Not our best rolls. Not the worst.
So you go searching around in the marsh, trying to find where these tracks might have come from. And unfortunately, you're not able to find them.
All right. It was a long shot. Once you go into the water.
You spend like a good hour kind of digging around, looking through thickets, and yeah, you don't see any spots of interest.
Well, at least we suspect that whatever this murderer is humanoid, mortal, not a ghost. So it stands to reason that if we can figure out where we might catch him, we should be able to catch him in the act.
Yeah, but I don't know how we'd figure out where we might catch him.
Scarnettis?
Maybe. If you're thinking that it's a hitman type creature.
I don't think it'd be a hitman. The Scarnettis may have unleashed something that they can't control, or maybe they can.
Or maybe
But
they're
it doesn't
not
seem
in
like a
on it, but it could be
I only suggest
Oh, sorry.
that because if it was a hitman, we would have seen this before. And it seems like this is new.
an out-of-towner. They brought someone in to do the job.
Right. So it's possible they did do something new here. But it does seem like it's it would be new. It would not be a long-standing hitman relationship.
We could patrol the town at night and wait for the next one.
That's a long patrol for not knowing.
That
where
also
it would
puts a
ever
lot of
strike.
people at danger, though that may be what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm. It's the last option.
I would not want to put people in danger on purpose, but if we've no other leads, that would be it. We do have the where was the bodyguard, Jason? Where was he located at?
He's at Habe's Sanatorium. It's about a half
Wait, did
day's
you say-
travel outside of town.
Did you say Habe Sanatorium?
Habe, Habe.
As in the same name as the dead guy?
Nope.
Parker.
No, the other dead guy.
Tabe.
Okay,
Oh.
Tabe and Habe.
Abe and Habe.
Well, that's
Alright.
just confusing.
This
Mortwell Haskin tape, I see.
Yes.
Hask and
Yes,
Tabe
Hask
and
and
Habe
Tabe and Habe
and Habe
and Harker
And Habe.
and Task. Task will be the next. Well, we better look around the town and find if there's anyone named Task.
I'll be dead next.
I have a very off-topic question.
Hmm.
Is Carpenter's Guild spelled with 2 I's on purpose?
No, that
On the
looks like
map?
a typo on the map.
Okay, I was looking at it for a while. I'm like, huh. Maybe I'm the one
I
who's
fixed it.
wrong. Yay.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's been spelled that way the whole time.
I was
It
like,
must not be
ew.
very good carpenters.
We're gonna stay off topic. Back to the blow pop discussion.
I was just looking at it.
He said with no context whatsoever.
I'm okay with this. It's
Blow
more entertaining this way.
pops.
Okay, so you guys just kind of chilling in the marsh.
Yeah, we sat
We're just gonna
in the
stay here
water,
forever. That
splashed.
seems like a nice place to buy a house and set up shop. I
Some
think
mosquitoes
so.
buzzing around.
We're midday, and you said it was a half day's ride to Heb Sanatorium.
Yeah.
We'd
Ooh.
be there by nightfall, or maybe a little before.
We have a nighttime questioning.
Right, for the full spooky. I think that answers it for us. I actually, you said it right, so that means we need to make sure everyone has horses again, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we could.
Well, sorry,
probably-
horses would make it like a few hours. Like maybe
Might be better,
3 hours.
even though I like the aesthetic of going for a nighttime questioning.
yeah,
it is
so
Halloween.
half day's walk, a quarter day's ride, I guess.
It's already late afternoon.
Thought it was midday.
It's like mid-afternoon. Maybe it's like 2 or 3
Then
p.m.
I think we could.
Okay.
I think we could make a ride there today.
Then dark ride in the dead of night on our way back. Don't think I want to stay in any place called a sanitarium.
As I say, or we could stay at night in the sanatorium. Nothing ever goes wrong with
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
We'll have a
I
sleepover.
I double dog dare you to stay the night in the sanitarium. All right.
Hey, maybe it's a nice, healthy sanitarium, and they're trying to help the people in it, and it's just nice and clean and happy, and
sanitary.
yeah.
I
That's what
appreciate
like
your
to believe.
enthusiasm and upbeat nature, Asher. That's what we like about you.
Yeah. You're thinking of a sanitarium, not a sanatorium. One is a very clean place.
Well, let's go get our horses.
I
Sanity
want a
rum.
pretty.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to the stables
Best kind of rum.
to get yourselves horses. Who already has horses?
I do. I think I'm the only one who does.
Is
Sound
I might
investment.
as well. I might as well ask after my same horse that I rented last time.
Yeah, it's still there.
You might
Sandpoint
as well
doesn't
buy
see so
it.
much traffic. Yeah, you can
At
certainly.
some point, we'll probably buy it, but not right now.
How much does a horse cost again?
Good question. I'm looking for that right now.
I feel
Horses,
like it was
horses.
like 100 rides, 100 rentals worth to buy the horse.
Well, then if
for
you
a
buy it
riding
now, then
horse,
you'll-
it's 8 gold and 1 silver per day to rent it. So
Yeah,
1
it's
silver plus 4
I-
gold for a deposit.
So you're putting down the 4 gold to deposits anyway.
Sure, but I get that back. 1 silver per day versus 80 silver to buy it.
I'm buying him a horse.
I don't.
I'm buying him that horse if it's available.
Oh no, I don't want to own this horse.
Too bad, I'm buying it for you.
'Cause then I will get attached to it.
I've bought the
Oh,
horse.
no.
The money's gone. I'm buying the horse.
Okay. the stable hand takes the money and
So long as it's the same horse. If it's a different horse, you'll have to buy that one on your own. But if it's the same one they have available,
by all means, here you go.
there you are.
It's all yours.
Oh, you have a horse. You should name him.
You're an asshole, Greshy.
For buying me this gift.
But thank you.
The horse
Of
looks
course.
at you with these like puppy dog eyes.
Wide eyes.
Its eyes full of hope and wonder.
When he's softly at you.
Okay, you
All
have a
right.
horse. What about Asher?
I'm gonna rent my horse.
Okay.
Fortunately, can't afford to
don't-
buy both of you a horse.
Yeah,
so
I don't
that's why
care what
was like-
horse I get. All horses are beautiful. Give me
What-
the ugliest horse, Jason. Out of character.
Okay. Asher just walks up to a random horse, like, I'll take that one. And you know, it's kind of, it's like in a stable box, and the owner's like, are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, he's a bit sick, and he kind of trots the horse out, and the horse has quite a lot of like flies sticking to it. Kind of as he pulls the horse out, you can see all the flies like disperse, and the horse like gently, slowly clops out.
Are you
It's-
keeping undead horses in here too?
Got
Seems
splotches
unsanitary.
of hair missing. He's been quite sick for the last few months. I haven't been able to do much about it, but if you want him,
Can I do
He's
a nature check
beautiful.
and see what's going on with the horse? Maybe something I can treat.
sure.
I do medicine or nature. For a horse,
Medicine.
it seems like
Medicine,
Oh, all right.
yeah.
I'll happily do medicine. It's a little better. It's a 24. Can I determine if there's something I can do to help treat the horse?
The horse itself seems quite old. You can, I mean, with that check, you can do a bit of treatment to patch it up a bit. But it,
So something to soothe the muscles a bit. You know, if it's getting old.
yeah, it looks like it's feeling a little bit better after that. But
All right.
Aw.
this horse probably isn't going to last another more than 2 years, maybe.
All right.
Oh, take it.
I
What's
wouldn't
the-
suggest that to Asher, but you know, do what you will.
Well,
Horse is
I can only take a
beautiful.
copper for that then.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like I'd be scamming you.
That's fair. That's a fair trade. You should be
okay.
putting this horse out to pasture instead of renting him out. It's had a long life.
So
Horse,
it'll be a
I would give
copper
this
for
horse
the
love.
copper per day and a silver. Sorry, four silver
Four
for
silver.
Oh, force.
Deposit.
for a deposit.
Maybe you could buy the horse and then. It sounds like you get it for cheap.
As you pass the silver over, he thinks about it for a moment and then sort of pushes the silver back to you.
Oh,
No deposit needed, I think.
thank you. I will. This
What are
horse
these
is
horses'
amazing.
names, Jason? I think they both need names from the stable.
Well, well, you've got your own horse. You can rename it if you want.
No. This horse already has a name.
What is this horse's name? What does it want to be called?
God damn it.
I suppose
I
I,
don't
could try and
have
ask the horse. Would you like that?
authority.
Yeah, ask the horse what name it would.
I don't have the authority to just change the name of an animal because
You've
of.
bought a horse. It's your horse. You can name it what you want. I like that you're pushing on to Jason though and making him.
Gunn, your horse is named Cimarron, Cimeron.
Okay.
And Asher, your horse is named Blitz, Blitz.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
Blitz.
Cimarron and Blitz.
I don't know if that's his chosen name, but I can't speak to him or her.
I don't. I know I can talk to animals. I just don't think I can understand them.
No, not
So-
not without speak with animals.
Right. So I'll still try and soothe the creature as much as I can.
I love this horse, and I will do everything in my power to protect this horse
Just buy the horse and put it out to pasture. You don't have to own it.
from things in the woods and goblins, and from God himself. I will protect this horse.
Asher is like making this oath in front of this sickly horse.
Yeah, like petting the horse. I'm like, it's
I-
okay.
I like that you're renting the horse and you're promising to protect it, but you're gonna bring it back here and leave it.
That's true. I will protect it for as long as it remains in my care.
You'll protect it forever as long as you have it.
I will.
Okie doke.
Just love Jason's facepalm as he was asked to come up with names for horses. It was just like, oh no.
I'll have my revenge yet. I guess this whole
Everything
campaign's my
needs a
revenge.
name, Jason, and you should know that.
Do they really?
You're
though?
lucky we didn't ask the guard's name,
I
because we
think
should have.
Blitz was inspired. So-
That's great.
And since we're back in town, let's also tell the sheriff or send a message some way. Are we pretty sure that Van Vender and Ebor were not involved since we found this?
I do think Vender was not going to kill his own daughter.
Ebor might
seems
still
like a
need
terrible
protective-
person, but probably was innocent, I think.
Might still need protective custody, though.
Especially if it's this if actually these Scarnettis are as bad as they seem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can leave him in protective custody or have somebody guard him at his home. Whichever. I don't know what their guard situation is like. I shouldn't assume.
Yeah, I suppose we should say that we are fairly certain they were not involved, but we think both of them should still be protected, as they might be targeted as witnesses.
Okay. So you
Somebody
guys,
should get Ebor a dog as well. Teach him to like him.
So you guys return to the garrison to speak with.
I think we could send a messenger somehow. Either.
I mean, if we're riding through town, it shouldn't be too hard for us to just swing by and say, "Hey, here's what's going on," and leave.
How far from the stable to the?
It's a good question. I actually don't see
I
the
think
stable
the
on this map.
stable is like all the way at the north side of town.
Oh, so it'd be a bit of a trip to do so.
Yeah. so you
Can we
would've-
just find a kid and pay him some money?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Which
I mean,
way?
you can
which
pass
way
by the
to the-
garrison on the way. It's to the south.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then let's go through the stable or to the stables, get our horses, then to the garrison, then out the south. to
Order
the-
of operations. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Was there what specifically were you telling the sheriff?
We're fairly certain that both of these men were not involved, so they should be, cared for gently rather than treated as suspects. But he should keep them under guard, 24 hours a day, for their own protection.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'll probably release both of them back to their homes and just have some people keep an eye on them. I don't know if I can keep Ven locked up here much longer. It's not.
The criminal or creature we're chasing seems to have entered through the windows and escaped through the river. So an attack could come from an unexpected direction.
I'll see if I can put any guards I can spare watching the waterways then. Thanks.
Do you know
for
of any-
looking into this?
Do you know of any bitches recently that had pups?
Recently? No. I
Just looking to get an Ebor a puppy. Do him good.
he kind of thinks about it. Maybe. He's always been kind of a quiet man. Might do him some good.
Gives him something to focus on besides the torment of what he saw. Also, puppies are good.
He just
Phobia
kind of
puppies
laughs at
now.
that. Well, I'll think about it. I don't know if I can spare too much copper for that, but anyway, I've got work to
If
do.
whatever it
Assume you
costs,
have work to do, so-
I'll reimburse you. Just letting you know. I'll pay for it.
He says he'll consider it.
All right. Let's be kind. Let's go. And
Okay.
away.
You guys make your way out of town.
Habes, not Tabes. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Oh, look, there's a big map now.
Big boy map. So you guys are currently in Sandpoint.
Oh, we would have passed by there, wouldn't we? Interesting.
Yeah, we've been in this area before.
Mhm.
Pre.
In the tutorial
Right.
pre-stream, you went over to Black Fang's former lair,
Right.
near the Devil's Platter.
We had it one night. We did spend the night on the Ashen Rise, so
Yes, you did.
I
So
dare
you might have
say
seen the
that.
building itself before. It's along. There's a road that leads along Cougar Creek, and Habe Sanatorium is just off the road. that road continues onward into the farmlands to the south, and off to Oakhart village to the east, which is where Gunn is from, or more recently from.
Oh, okay, cool.
Neat.
So you guys are riding on down to good old Buddy Habe Sanatorium.
Yeah.
All right.
See what crazy
Teleport.
shenanigans we can get into here.
Zoom. What's a good? Yeah, sure. Okay. Switch back to the party view for this. All right. So you make your way down the road towards this. Looks like a I think 3-story house. Kind of large building, or certainly large for like one person to stay at. It certainly looks like it could be used as like a medical facility. Fairly simple. It's sitting at the top of a hill, overlooking just some grasslands nearby. The road leading up to it is just a simple dirt road. You can see a rickety sort of wooden veranda, I guess, in front of the building, leading up to a single door that is visible from the front. What would you like to do?
Any guards? Anybody
Perception.
at all outside?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay. There we go. A 16.
Okay. So you scan around. You guys are maybe like 100 feet away, still on horseback, as you kind of slow down on the approach. And Gunn takes a glance to see if he spots any people around. You do spot someone who seemed to have been chopping wood, who seems to have already seen you. They are kind of a burly human-looking person with slightly off-color skin, like it's kind of like a tinge of purple, and they have twisting black horns growing out of their head, but they look otherwise human. They look up at you.
I will wave, and when he waves back, I will see if his hands are normal, or if he has extra long fingers.
You wave at him, and he just kind of grunts dismissively and makes his way towards the door entryway. His hands look normal to you.
Okay.
As he lets go of the hatchet and makes his way inside.
I'm assuming that whoever has extra long toes probably also has extra long fingers.
Fair assumption.
since I
Give
can't
me
exactly-
a society check.
Okay.
Well, everybody actually. You can all once Gunn starts.
Untrained, 13.
Trained 13. Untrained.
I got a
trained
10
from Greshy.
Out of 15 plus 2 because of my. I don't know how to put that into the sheet.
Oh, I see.
The
Well,
feat I just
I
said,
can show you
yeah.
how to do it later. So 17 from Asher. The other two of you don't know what this person is. They look just like a weird human. Asher, you recognize this from your occult books as a tiefling. This is a human with fiendish ancestry, kind of like the inverse of what
Nice.
Nualia was. Nualia had celestial ancestry. This person, someone in their bloodline, was a fiend or a demon or something. Doesn't mean that they're evil, just that they've got fiendish blood in them.
Luckily, Asher doesn't believe that everyone is evil for certain reasons.
But yeah, he seeing you guys, he makes his way just casually over to the doorway, unlocks it, goes inside, and closes the door.
Shall we go in?
Do we hear the loud sound of the door locking? Like, does he go inside, close it, and then like ka-chunk?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, you hear the sound of like a wood bar being placed on the door on the other side.
Oh,
Hello.
exciting.
So do you guys get off your horses or anything? You're just still kind of on your horses,
I'll get
a
off
few
my
hundred,
horse.
like 100 feet away. Okay, you get off your horse and kind of tie
We'll
it down.
ride over.
Is there a place to tie them up?
Yeah, you,
I don't know how
tie
much
them up on the
visitors they get.
veranda, yeah, near the port.
Yeah, I'll just tie them up there.
Yeah.
I'll do that too.
Okay, so you guys ride over to the entrance. Your horses whinny as the setting sun is cresting the horizon, and you make your way up the just very short half steps up to the up the porch to the doorway.
Okay. Let's knock on the door and announce that we've come representing Sheriff Hemlock to speak with the latest patient who arrived today. Was today, right? That previous murder was yesterday.
The previous murder was 2 days ago, I think, is what I said.
They probably arrived here yesterday.
Yeah. Or yeah,
I don't think
sorry,
we have the
that was
bodyguard's
worded like it
name.
was a hypothetical. I don't know if you're actually doing that.
Okay. We don't have the bodyguard's name, right?
Do you not?
I don't think so.
We have Mortwell, Hask, and Tabe, but I don't think we know who the bodyguard is.
That's a good question. I might not have said it myself, but I think he would have told you. Yes, he would have told you that the man's name was Graced Sevilla. Grayst. Last name Sevilla, Sevilla. Sevilla. Yes.
Okay.
Possible Scarnetti.
Just because they have similar sounding last names
I-
does not mean.
It's fair. It's fair.
I say that now, and then Jason's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, they're related," and
This has been an it's
big thing, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god."
a whole thing.
But yes,
So- Yes?
the bodyguard was
That-
known around Sandpoint as
Okay.
Graced.
Well,
Yeah.
that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock on the door,
Okay, so you
Until-
knock at the door.
announce that we've come at the request of Sheriff Hemlock to speak with Mr. Sevilla.
A little like a wood slot opens, and you can see very shifty looking eyes.
Is it
of
the same dude?
No, it seems to be a human male.
Okay, I'll hold up the letter from the sheriff.
Give me a
Sheriff Hemlock
diplomacy check.
Diplomancy. For 15.
15? Okay. With the bonus for showing Hemlock's letter. The slot slams shut, and you hear the sound of multiple locks unlocking and a wooden, I don't know what these things are called, wood bar, lifting up. And the door creaks open ever so slowly. And
Hello.
a man peeks out. Yes, how can I help you? I am Dr. Aaron Habe. I run this facility. And I'll show you all what he looks like.
There he is. He is shifty.
Do you
He
not?
looks like that teacher
is-
before he turned into Voldemort.
Oh my god.
Yeah, kind
Can
of.
we tear the scarf off and look behind his head?
Yeah, so he's kind of a gaunt-looking man, wearing a kind of simple burgundy robe, and he's got a burgundy cloth scarf wrapped around his head, and you can see his just bits of his gray beard peeking out underneath. His face is just kind of fraught with worry. He looks like he's a constantly worried person.
I will ask, do you often have trouble with visitors out here?
Yes, sometimes. I like to keep the patients safe from all the ails of the world.
I can understand that.
If you don't
He's
mind,
totally-
I am rather busy. Could you come back some other time?
I'm afraid we can't. It's urgent that we speak with Mr. Sevilla. He may have witnessed, or he has witnessed a horrifying crime. And if we don't talk to him soon, it's likely that more people will die.
Must you, though? He's in quite a state. I'm not sure if he's in a condition to be talking to people. It's not
You're
very good
welcome.
for him.
I will do my best to keep things calm for his sake, and you're welcome to enter with us while we, question him.
He just looks like just a ball of tension. He's just like very tense right now.
I'm trying to soothe him.
Yeah, he seems like the tension releases slightly, and he looks back over his shoulder, and you can see in the shadows of the room that he's in is that big tiefling, and he kind of slowly nods. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. This is fine. Come in. I'll take you to him. Come, follow. And he
Sure.
turns and starts walking into the sort of main foyer of the place. There is a simple desk and 3 chairs in this room, and a sign above the desk that reads "Ring for Service," and there's a little simple cord that's attached to a bell. But he just walks past this desk he just takes an immediate right and opens a door and beckons you to follow. There's another door on the opposite side of the room.
No, there's no more doors behind doors.
It's just it's a lobby, and there's 2 other doors in it.
Asher just walks around and opens all of the doors.
All these doors listens and opens.
They're just all gonna be open now.
He's walking around at every door doing it.
We've got to
I will
air the
not
place out, you
release
understand?
Another
It's fine.
demon. This will not happen.
So do you follow him into the next room?
Yeah, I follow.
He's been pretty suspicious up to now. Does he seem like he's pulling a fast one, or does he actually seem like he's doing, like, he's actually taking us to where we want to go?
That's motive.
Perception? Yeah, perception is the to sense motive.
That's 16 total.
The same, if that is okay.
Yeah, sure, go for it. Whoever wants to.
He really doesn't want to let us in, but he will
Fine.
let us in.
I feel like he's genuine.
It's fine.
So I'm not gonna try.
You're allowed to feel that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, no,
16
Asher
from
feels that
Greshy.
way. I don't.
Okay. Asher is just trusting this guy blindly. Greshy got a
He's cool.
16 on sense motive, and Gunn got a 19. Okay. So you're watching this guy's movements. It seems like he's just like doing this very reluctantly. He is certainly shady. There's something weird going on here, but doesn't seem like he's trying to pull a fast one on you. Seems like he's just kind of reluctantly given in, especially at the mention of the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
But he does.
How many patients do you usually keep?
At any given time, he thinks to himself.
Or currently, at the moment.
Currently, I think we only have maybe 4 patients at the moment. Things, luckily, have been fairly calm until this fellow showed up.
You're welcome for that.
Oh.
Seeing as we killed the baby dragon that was terrorizing the countryside right around here about a month ago.
Ah,
I think you meant
yes,
the
I did.
level of insane people.
I did hear about that.
Right.
Yeah, that was totally us.
Thank you. He just kind of keeps walking into the next room.
So what's exactly about
The bodyguard
gonna ask-
seems to be standing in the room behind you, watching. He's like staying behind you all, making sure you all continue forward.
Sure, not
The bodyguard too.
Hmm?
So he's the tiefling is the bodyguard.
The bodyguard has a bodyguard now.
No,
So
just the
he's the
tiefling.
bodyguard.
Sorry, just one tiefling so far, and
and he's
hey.
the bodyguard.
he seems to
the
be
tiefling seems to be the bodyguard. He seems to be like bouncering. Yeah,
All right, that's what I
he was
thought.
standing in the shadows of the room when you walked in. Habe led you past him through the door, and once you all come through the door, then the tiefling follows. But he hasn't
Okay.
said anything yet. He's just being kind of
Fair.
frumpy. And you can see
Oh,
he's got
frumpy
like
people.
it looks like he's got a dagger at his hilt.
Is it a cool dagger?
Nah, it just seems like a standard dagger, probably.
Oh.
I did
Okay.
want to ask what exactly got started going nuts or bad or strange when Mr. Sevilla showed up.
Oh, I just mean that he's the first new patient I've had in a while. His condition is very unique.
Oh,
It's very
what's
interesting.
exactly what exactly is unique about his condition?
You'll see soon enough. And you all
That doesn't
pass
sound ominous at
through.
all.
you all pass through what seems to be kind of like a half kitchen, half like workroom.
Would you say?
There's.
I'll wait for the description to be done. Sorry.
Okay. There seems to be several tables with what looks like pieces equipment that you'd use to like sew and knit strewn about the tables. Very simple knitted objects sit on the various tables, like not even full socks or blankets or anything, just simple cloth, like a disc with the letter I in the center. Like nothing very complex.
So, some of my conversation, I'm talking with the doctor, but I'm looking at the bodyguard, including the bit about where we're talking about the dragon, and I'd like to know if I can do make an impression check for him to improve his
okay.
attitude. Diplomacy special action.
Sorry, you're trying to do this to the
For
bodyguard?
the bodyguard. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, give me a diplomacy.
Come on, damn it. 13.
13.
Not a critical failure.
Yeah, you
I mean,
kind of
not
like
a-
flex
not a
your
lot.
muscles a bit, and yeah, you're trying to impress him throughout the conversation, but he just seems completely disinterested in the three of you. Basically, he's just watching you for any weird moves that you might make.
Damn. Okay.
So you guys pass by looks like 3 doors on your right. One of which, the middle one, is open, and it seems to be just a simple bedroom, fairly stark. Not a whole lot in it, just a simple bed and a pillow and not much else. You round a corner to your right. There's another door that looks like it goes into a small room, but you then turn to the left and find yourself going up a set of stairs to a second floor. The second floor is much smaller than the first.
That's
But
good.
here, that's good. You said
I said that's good. Yes, as it should be.
Less doors to
Larger
open.
than the first floor, I would be.
fewer doors, you think. So you make it
All
your
the
way
walls
up
are
to
doors.
the top of the stairs, where there is a bit of a landing and one very thick, with 2 C's, solid, reinforced, like it's a wooden door but with like reinforced steel around the sides, and what looks like a pretty hefty lock on it. The Aaron Habe produces a key from his necklace that he like removes from his shirt, and inserts into the lock and twists it. The lock unlocks, and he tucks the key back under his shirt. No, continue, follow me. We'll be there in a moment. It opens the door, and inside is a large open chamber with it looks like 5 doors all around you, and a 6th door that leads clearly into a stairwell leading up to the next floor. You can hear the sounds of behind one of the doors. So all the doors here are barred with like metal bars, and you can hear one person who sounds like they're kind of softly moaning. Maybe it's a human farmer. You're not sure. Not farmer. Human male is what I meant. Human male, kind of just softly. In one room, and in another room, you just hear scratching, like long, like scraping of something. And as Habe like motions to you all to, he's like, shh, be quiet. They get rowdy if you make too much noise. And he very gingerly makes his way across the hall, across the across the room to the other staircase, where he opens the door. Do you guys follow?
Yes. But quietly.
Okay, if you're moving quietly, give me a stealth check.
Sure.
If I move normally, I don't have to make a stealth check.
A natural 20. Good for me, at least.
Got a 23.
Oh no.
Well, that's about right.
Okay, so we got a 30 for Asher, a 23 for Greshy, and a 7 for Gunn. So Gunn is kind of in the back anyway, because he's been trying to impress this the guard. It's still kind of going on. And his armor is just clanking. Or are you in chainmail?
It's half plate.
Half plate. Okay, so it is just kind of scraping metal against metal as you're making your way across the room.
I don't think it has the noisy property. Yeah, it should not.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think it's chainmail that does.
Yeah,
but in any case, it is. You're not doing a great job of keeping the noise down, and you're pretty heavy-footed, and the wood on the floor is pretty light and creaks.
I want that glamored rune.
And as you're making your way across to the stair, everybody else has already made their way into the stairwell except you and the guard. But suddenly, the 2 people that were in those cells on the sides run towards their cell doors and reach their hands through and like grip the bars and start screaming, and just wailing loudly. The rest of you guys hear this in the hallway, and you kind of turn back and look. They're not doing anything, but they're just kind of shaking the bars and screaming. Oh, I told you all to be quiet. I told you all to be quiet. Please. Hold on a moment. He kind of Habe ushers you back down the stairs. I need to quiet them. Lest they upset everyone else. He makes his way over to one of the bars and reaches into his a pocket and pulls out a vial. Here, don't just take this. And he puts the vial out towards the bars, and he's already uncorked it, and there's like some kind of clearish liquid inside, and he starts to kind of drip it through the bars, and you can see the face of a human male, big kind of bushy beard, just kind of licking at the vial, and it calms him down pretty quickly. He takes it away, and the guy kind of calms down and shuffles off into the corner of his room. He basically repeats this process for the second guy, or second person.
Greshy's eye, in particular, but I'm looking at both you guys. But I'm gonna catch Greshy's eye with a look that sort of says, "Does that set off any alarm bells for anybody else? Is that a
Has
normal
water
thing?"
I don't have. That's what sets off my alarm bells.
Sanity rum. Thanks, Sildari. He makes his way over to the other person, who seems to be it's an older male, quite old, in fact. Looks very gaunt. His eyes appear to be slashed out, there's just holes and like scarred flesh there. Appears to be completely blind as he's like scraping at the walls. And the man does the same kind of thing. Oh, there. Drink up. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. This'll all be fine. And the man sort of just calms down after a moment. Sorry about that. Habe says as he pockets the vial.
Quite all right. What is that concoction?
Oh, it's something I had mixed up to calm their nerves. Please, we must keep going before they make any more noise.
I'm pretending that seems all right, but that does not seem all right.
Okay, he makes his way over to the stairs and makes his way up. The bodyguard just waits behind you all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Suppose so.
Okay, the three of you make your way up the stairs. Much like before, there's another landing here at the top of the stairs. It's much smaller, and there's another locked door. He produces the key again, unlocks it. This door is similarly reinforced, just like the other one. And here, it's another kind of, this is more of an L-shaped chamber. There's 3 doors along the south wall, and 1 door along the east wall of like a much smaller chamber. Let's see if there's anything interesting that happens here. Yeah, he'll lead you around the corner, past the other 3 holding cells, or the other 2 holding cells and some other room, which purpose you have no idea. And it leads you to the end of the hall. There's a closet on one side and another of these holding cells here. Now, he is very delicate, so he shouldn't harm anyone, but just be careful, okay?
All right.
I don't want anything bad to happen to the patient. And he looks at each of you, waiting for your...
Of course, doctor.
Okay. And he takes out another key, and unlocks the cell door. And sitting in this chamber, so Habe enters slowly, and kind of motions you all inside. And sitting at the far side of the room is a man, human man, pale, very pale skin, that's kind of gangrenous. It's like tinged slightly green. His eyes have gone like completely milky white, and his hair is just very wild, and black and kind of just looks distressed, severely.
Has he been infected with the undeads?
Just
Has he-
generic undeads.
Has he got the ghoul touch? Religion? Is that would that be religion check?
Yeah, that would be religion or medicine.
Medicine? I guess I'll try religion rather.
And it looks like he's
One of these
currently
days that'll
like
look good.
bound in a straitjacket.
I've got a 16 religion.
16. Yeah, that certainly looks like a ghoul or somebody in the advanced stages of ghoulism, ghoul fever. The process of being turned into a ghoul. He looks up at you all with wide eyes that seem to kind of glow. And his eyes quickly dart from one person to the other, and then his eyes stop on Asher.
No!
And show him to you all. This is good old graced. Let me cut it back over to the map so that the viewers can see. But yeah, it's this. His mouth opens wide, and his tongue, which seems kind of elongated, kind of slithers around, and he kind of licks his lips. He said you would visit me. And he's just looking right at Asher, just dead on. He's ignoring everyone else in the room.
Well, like, that's good. Who?
Oh, that's fine.
He's
That's no
getting
problem.
visitors, and I'm here to visit him, and now he has company. Who told you that I'd be visiting?
His lordship, of course. His lordship. The one that unmade me so. He has a place for you. A special place. I'm so jealous. He has a message
I have no
for
idea
you.
who that is. What is the message?
The message, he made me remember it. I hope I haven't forgotten. The master wouldn't approve of me if I forgot. Let me see. Let me see. Let
Should
me
write
see.
down this message.
He
How about
goes
we go-
quiet for a bit, and
How about we
kind of.
ask him what the message was? How about we go ask the lordship?
No, I can tell you. I remember. Grace remembers. He said, if you come to his, if you come to his misgivings, if you joined his pack, he would end the harvest in your honor.
The
And then
harvest
he falls quiet again.
Well, sure. Let's go meet him. Where should we meet? If we want to join.
Wherever we're at in the room, I want to make sure that Greshy's positioned himself between Habe and the Dar. Wherever Habe is standing, Greshy just wants to be between him and the Dar. Habe specifically.
Good luck with that because the bodyguard is standing in the doorway.
I don't
And
need to be
if you
in the
try to
doorway.
position yourself there, the bodyguard will sort of slightly move you aside.
Did Habe enter the room with us?
Yes, Habe's in the room with you.
Right. I just want to make sure that Habe doesn't have a clear shot to the door.
To leave? To lock us in here with this guy?
That's the thought.
Okay.
The
'Cause-
body. If you try to do that, the bodyguard will see, and he'll kind of try and push you aside.
That's a bit rude.
I was kind of thinking the opposite. I was actually going to suggest that the doctor might want to leave and tell him that this man is contracted. His mental problems are secondary. He's contracted ghoulism. Or whatever it's called.
Of course, that's what makes him so interesting. Habe just kind of gives you a quizzical look, and
In about a day or two at most, you're going to have, guessing on that, but if I'm wrong, then supply correct information, please. You're going to have an undead creature on your hands.
perhaps, but not if the treatment works.
What treatment are you applying?
Well, I've been working on all sorts of... And then Grace just launches up, and you all hear the snapping of fabric and belt buckles as his arms wrench free of the straitjacket, and he runs straight at Asher. And
I'm getting
that
right in front of
is-
No, I don't like
the
that. I want to get out of the way.
Well, that'll be for next time when we roll initiative.
No,
Ah.
how about
time.
get out of the way now?
All right. It's already
All right.
that time, huh?
It's that time again. So, I hope everybody had fun with this semi-Halloween adventure, I guess.
Too spooky. Ooh.
Yeah, thank you to all the we made affiliate status. Yay!
Nice.
So thanks to everybody who just subscribed before the show started. Ink Pig subscribed with Prime. We got Rainbow Cat who subscribed for 1 month at tier 1. Sweet. Sildari and Rainbow Cat had a bit of a bidding war, I guess, bitting war with those cheer bits. So thank you so much for all that. Thanks for the support. We love you guys. Yeah, that's all I got for today. Hopefully you guys will be around next week when we do a little bit more of this spooky, scary mystery stuff. So that's all I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're Third Action. You know the drill. If you've been watching, watch us on twitch.tv/Third Action every Tuesday night-ish at 7:30 p.m. Pacific-ish time. Yeah. See you later. Have fun. Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
night. Sweet dreams.
Asher said the line I was waiting for at one point, and I missed my chance to jump in. Asher said maybe the killings are unrelated. And
What was your
that,
follow-up?
I was supposed to jump in and say, "Oh, isn't that just beautiful? All the lowlifes in Quiet City Sandpoint start dropping dead, and you think it's unrelated."
That would have been pretty good.